Is this the biggest game of the season? Will our captain be benched? Can we hold on to our title lead? And Maeda, out with a season-ending injury a couple of weeks ago. Now he's back in training and could play this weekend. What the fuck? Welcome back to the channel. My name's Jared. If you did watch my first video, I'm sorry. It was bad. Like, I can stand on stage with a microphone telling crappy jokes to a couple of hundred people. Easy. Put me in a room by myself, talking to the back of my phone. Awkward. To be honest, I actually thought the talking crap to the phone part was going to be the easy bit about this, and then it was going to be a drag doing the video editing. Didn't realise this part was going to be awkward, and the video editing was actually pretty fun. But let's crack on. Each video, hopefully, will get a little bit better at a time. So, is this the biggest game of the year? Now, Hamish from Celtic AM has been crapping on about this all week, and yes, I tend to agree with him. I think this is the biggest game of the season for us, just because of what it means. With 4 games left, we get a win here, that's 3 games left plus 1 against Rangers. Like this, a win here will be huge. Not only that, but they beat us the last 2 games. 2-0 each time. But they weren't just losses, those were demoralising losses. Like, let's talk about the last game. At last game, we got a penalty, which apparently shouldn't have been a penalty, but we all kind of knew that watching. Yang gets a red card in the first half that it's questionable whether it should be red or kept as a yellow, but it is what it is. And then Iwata, handball that was never a handball. That has never been a handball. Gives away a penalty. The VAR review panel have came back and said that was never a handball and it was a mistake. So why are we going to the board and overturning what was a correct call on the field? Then afterwards, Brendan Rodgers gets suspended for calling Beaton incompetent.
He is incompetent.
Which, I don't know this. It's been brought up to not lie, and I think he done a great job of that. So that's the team we're going to play against. This is going to be what's in our players' heads. And when you see interviews with people like Maeda Wolverine, like they seem calm, they seem ready. They're actually chomping at the bit to be in a title race and play against teams like Hearts. This game has huge implications. If we win and Rangers win, 3 games left. We can go into Parkhead and I think it's going to be, to me, I don't know, I just feel like the Rangers game is going to be an easier game than this Hearts game. Because Rangers just don't do well under pressure. But even if we draw against Rangers after winning against Hearts, we're still 3 points ahead with 2 games to go. Like, not ideal, we'd rather wrap it up, win the next 2 games, pretty much game over. But if we slip up and draw against Rangers after beating Hearts, they don't gain on us, and there's only 2 games left. They're going to run out of games to try and catch up if they can. But to be fair, I think we're on form at the moment. Our players are coming back from injury. Our players that were dipping are actually starting to find form, and I feel like everyone's focused, everyone has a vision, and everyone is going towards the vision. Whereas teams like Hearts, they're kind of third, they're not really playing for anything. They'll know that we'll come out firing after the last couple of games and they'll want to give it everything, but I think we'll have a great home field advantage and I think our players will want it more and we are better. If we go out and play our best, there's no team that's going to beat us.
And now let's go out and prove everybody right. We know we're better than you. We don't give a fuck if you know it or not. We don't give a shit if you give us your best game. We're going to give you our best game, and we're going to beat the fuck out of you. How's that?
One thing we have to do in this game, though, is play for 90 minutes. I don't really remember the last game that I've seen us play for 90 minutes. We take about 20 off, whether it's at the start of the game, end of the game. Now we're starting to just take 20-minute gaps in the middle of the game. Not good enough. We need to play for 90 minutes. Aberdeen. Adam Ida is holding the ball up in the corner with 3 minutes to go. That's not good enough. You can't hold the ball up with 3 minutes to go. We should be passing the ball around and trying to get another goal. Keep possession, make them come out to try and get the ball back because they have to. We're up by 1 point. Try and put it away, but we were just playing stupid and ended up giving away another goal. So why are we trying to kill the game off in a corner and still giving away another goal? Ridiculous. That stuff needs to stop. Next 4 games need to be focused. We need to play for 90 minutes. Keep the boot on the throat. Now let's talk about Maeda. Is Maeda Wolverine? Who can come back from a season-ending injury in like 2-3 weeks? That is ridiculous. Now, I don't know, time of recording, if he's going to play. The last we've heard, or last I've seen, is he's back at training and he could be available for this game. It hasn't really been confirmed if he's definitely playing. And if he is, does he start? Does he come off the bench? I mean, Forrest is in amazing, like he's been the best player in the country the last couple of weeks. I think I don't know if you would start Maeda over him, because Maeda, like, you can't, he's coming back off injury. You're not going to play him the whole game. So do we still play Forrest first? But also then we've got the issue is who plays right wing. Like, we've got Kun and then a bunch of left wings, except Forrest. So if we needed to replace Kun, Forrest would be the guy coming on. But if Forrest starts, he's not going to be able to play the whole game. He's going to be coming off, and we can't put Maeda on the right. He's just not as effective. So Palma, I don't think, can play on the right. So we're stuck with Yang. And I don't think anyone wants to close out a game with Yang, not in the current form that he's in. So then do you start with Maeda and keep Forrest for whatever side you want? I don't know. Personally, I think I would start Forrest. But we'll talk about that later when we go through my lineups. In terms of midfield, do we go with leadership or form? Right now, I think most people can agree Iwata is the number 6 on form. But Kalmak is the captain. He's back. He's going to play. The question is, do you start him or do you finish the game with him? Do you give him more minutes than Iwata, less minutes than Iwata? Now, I've seen people comment and they're like, don't play him at all. You need to keep him for the next game against Rangers. And I agree, we need him for the game against Rangers because I think we're at a different level with him playing. And I think he takes it to a different level when we play against Rangers. But the question is, how injured is he? And is it just fitness? If it's just fitness, you can't sit him on the bench. You want to give him at least some minutes to get some minutes in his legs to shake off that rust, get a little bit better for next game. Just a question of, do you want to start him or do you want to bring him off the bench? Okay, and now to my predicted lineup. Obviously, Joe Hart in goals. Back 4, I think, are going to be the same probably for the rest of the season, the 4 or 5 games. Johnson on the right, Carter Vickers, Scales, and Taylor. No matter what you think of Scales, I think he's just in favour with the manager. I would have loved to have seen Rocky get more of a chance over the last few weeks, but hasn't happened, so I think that kind of tells you where the manager's going, and I think it's more important to have that connection between the centre-backs, so I think it's going to be Scales for this game and for the rest of the season. Carter Vickers, I think, will have a great game, pretty much because he didn't have a good game just before. So I think that's something that will probably grind at him and he'll want to come back out and prove a point. The midfield, I'm going to go with what, when on form, is the best midfield in the country. That's Hatate, O'Reilly and McGregor. I've decided to start McGregor pretty much just so we can have those 3 start getting that chemistry back. Because when they are on form and they are playing together, they are unstoppable, and I really feel that this game is going to be won in the midfield. Stopping the balls going back, pressing high, keeping it forward, just dominating the midfield is where this game is really going to be won, and I think that's our best midfield. Iwata can come on in the second half. What I would love to see though is us getting a penalty while Iwata's on the field and giving the ball to Iwata. I think his penalty was the best of those penalty shootouts. It was brilliant and he looked so calm and composed. And I would love him to score a goal against Hearts after his absolute BS handball cost us a penalty. I think that would be great to see. And up forward, we're going with Kun, Kyogo, and I'm going to start with Forrest. I think he started strong last game. He is on form. I'm not sure if Maeda is even going to play, but if he does play, bringing him off the bench, he does give you more on defense, and with tired legs in the second half of Hearts, he will pressure them a little bit more. So I'm going to start with Forrest. Kun is pretty much a certain on the right for the rest of the season because he is realistically the only right wing. Who's his backup? Yang? Do you really want Yang? No. Yang needs to have a year on loan. That's what I think anyway. But that's my lineup. Let me know what you think. I think it's going to be a good game. I think we've got a lot to play for. I'm not sure if Hearts have as much to play for as us. I think they'll come out to try and just stop us from winning rather than beating us, which usually can lend to a bit of rougher tactics. So let's hope the referees are all over that, but I'm looking forward to the game. As long as we get out with 3 points, that's pretty much all that matters. Let's hope we can put on a show. I don't think it's going to be a blowout by any means. I think it'll be quite close. And I do think Hearts have a way of just scoring a goal against us. So even though they haven't scored in the last couple of games, I think it might be 2-1. I think they'll edge one. Also, we have a tendency of just giving a team a couple of shots. Free goals. Free shots at goal per game. So we kind of need to fix that. But let's go get some points and then on to the next one. But I'm looking forward to it. Should be fun. And I'll see you after the game where we can discuss what just happened.